Like Jan literally is throwing hooks and man's just going to sleep. I'm like, what is this guy doing? I don't get it. Like it actually.
No, his hands actually made of stone. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the MMA Brothers podcast. My name is Daryl,
Name's Asher.
and we're talking UFC post-fight podcast. UFC 253 is the Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. So we're going to start off at the bottom of the main event, not of the evening, of the main card. So we're going to go. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so this fight card started off with Hakeem the Mean Dwadu versus a Russian guy that I really don't know how to pronounce his name. What's it? How do you pronounce his name again, Ash?
I don't know. But yeah, Hakeem, he's somebody that he's impressive. I don't know how many fights he's won in a row now, but like the Russian had Khabib in his corner. And yeah, clearly that wasn't enough. He started out quite well actually in the first two rounds. Like he was doing well. But then that third round, for some reason, like he just decided to not throw anymore and just decided to move around the octagon. So I don't know what he was thinking or why he decided to do that.
No,
But
I think he got tired, man. That.
mm,
I think he because every single time he wanted to go into an exchange with Hakeem, he'd get caught really bad. Like usually with the right hand cross would get returned, and then he got stunned. Ever
mm.
since he got stunned in I think it was like the second round, he stopped advancing forward as much.
Yeah, that's true. So, but yeah, Hakeem has a lot of potential. I want to see him like against a higher ranked opponent, like a top 15 next. See what he can do because yeah, like he has good wrestling, he has some good striking, and a lot of people were picking the Russian to win, but like that didn't happen. So yeah, up and up, Hakeem. You can rep Canada. We love that, and yeah, we wish the best for him. Hopefully, he aims for the stars. You know.
Yeah, I think he's got great potential. Very good stand-up fighter. He's got the physique to be a star. He's got like the swagger. When Zubeira stopped throwing, he was like egging him on to like, yo, let's throw, let's do this, let's do that. And I think what that does is it shows the judges that the other fighter is not trying to fight, right? So that's to be points against the other fighter. Like you're just running around in circles, not really doing anything, right? You're refusing to engage. You're not doing it for defensive purposes in the sense that you're trying to slip and rip. You're just literally just moving out of the way. So I think that's what ended up ultimately hurting him, that the fact that he was running away for the last 2-3 minutes of the third round. And yeah, but great for Hakeem, great potential. As I would love to see him versus another striker because Zubaira shot for a lot of takedowns. I think he only landed one, but you could tell that he was fearful of his power, so he just thought he could just take him down and control him there. So congrats to Hakeem, but we can move on to Caitlin Vieira versus Sijara Eubanks.
Yeah, so Vieira Eubanks, Vieira got the win in this one. I think she was a higher ranked opponent as well. These two women were throwing like in the first round, like the punches that were landing on each other. I was like, damn, somebody's getting knocked out in this one. This is kind of crazy. I don't know what the numbers are. If you want, you can click on the fight, but yeah, it was a solid victory. It was one of the more entertaining fights on this card. Jara, every one of her fights is really good, but as you can see, Kathleen landed more strikes. And yeah, she landed two takedowns as well. So she was the valid winner in this one. What did you think?
Yeah, I think Sajara has got to incorporate a lot more head movement into her fighting. She's such a good grappling heavy um, fighter, meaning she relies heavily on her wrestling, putting you up against the cage, trying to take you down. Her stand up she's gone to Mark Henry, and I think he's helping her out quite a bit. She still has a long way to go in terms of crispening up her striking, but she always sticks in the pocket for too long, meaning she always gets in these heated, hook exchanging sequences in the middle of the cage, and you're just like, God, someone's gonna go down. You're just exchanging left and right hooks to the dome, the both of you, right? So really proud of her. She just fought like 2 weeks ago. Took this on short notice against a worthy opponent in Caitlin Vieira. Only had about 2 weeks to prepare for it, so that's as much as you can do in those circumstances. But it's a very interesting fight. Went all 3 rounds. Decision by Caitlin was very deserved, but we can move on to Kai Kara France versus Brandon Royval.
Yeah, this one was a little bit disappointing for Kai Kai fans because a lot of people had him hyped up. Yeah, I mean, his nickname is Don't Blink. So I was doing a lot of blinking in this fight because I was like, damn, he's getting beat up by Brendan Royval. Raw Dog, what a name. Yeah, first round, he did very, very well. I think both of them knocked each other down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Um,
so Kai landed a right hand flush on Royval's chin, dropped him.
mm,
And then when Kai was going in for the finish, as Brandon was standing up, Brandon did a spinning elbow and dropped Kai. And then he went on top of Kai.
yeah.
So,
Can you scroll down a little bit?
yeah.
So yeah, it was a very, very interesting fight. Brendan Royval showed that he has a lot of potential. Um, I didn't expect that type of performance out of him. And Kai Kai France, I think he's from Australia, right? If I'm not
Just from New
mistaken. New
Zealand.
Zealand, sorry. Yeah, so he's part of the Izzy squad and stuff like that. So I think it's unfortunate that he didn't catch a dub because there's a bunch of the Oceania guys that were fighting on this card. So, but yeah, Brendan Royval, he actually didn't call out anyone, which is surprising because I think he said like he got dropped a couple times. So he's like, nah, I'm not gonna like aim for top five. I kind of want to make sure like my game is on point first before I end up going for those guys up there. So who knows? Maybe a guy like Joey Benavidez is next for him because Benavidez only has like one fight left. He said that he's gonna retire, but he doesn't want to retire off an L. So Brandon Royval is that guy where like he's really good, but I don't know if he's on Benavidez level. So maybe Benavidez may be able to get a dub off of him and then right into the sunset. But yeah, that's what I
I
think.
don't
Right,
know,
good
man.
job by Royval.
Joey took some damage from Davidson, man. It was not fun watching that fight. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. But
Or
yeah,
maybe
I
he can
mean, Kai.
face maybe he can face Kai Kai France. They're both coming off of L's, so who knows?
Yeah, I think Kai's one for the future. I mean, he's a very, very interesting fighter. He loves exchanges. Same with everyone at City Kickboxing. Their stand up is really good. Unfortunately, he got caught in a guillotine. Could happen to anyone. He shot for the takedown, left his neck exposed. Brandon jumped up, and then he did a standing guillotine choke. Like he had his legs wrapped up around him, and then it got tighter and tighter, and Kai was forced to tap. So it was an interesting fight. Very, very good. It was ordered fight of the night. So good on you, Kai. I'm happy for Brandon. Obviously, I want to see him face not the creme de la creme, but definitely a step up in the competition. But yeah, I think that Benavidez is a good fight for both of them. But we can move on to Dominic Reyes versus Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, I lost some money on Reyes, not gonna lie. It really pissed me off how like I don't know what Reyes was trying to do. Like he started off actually the fight in the first 2 minutes, he started off well. Like he was putting the pace on Jan. He was like being more aggressive. He landed a lot of like nice punches, like some nice left straights on Jan's face. Um, But then, yeah, the second half of the first round, I don't know what happened. For all of a sudden, maybe I've listened to Chael Sonnen talk about this a while. He was just saying that, like, oh, maybe Reyes was afraid of getting tired, and maybe that's why he kind of slowed down his output. Like, because if you watch the Reyes, the way he fought against Jan and the way Reyes fought against Jones, it's like two different guys, right? Reyes was just putting on the pressure, like being so forceful on Jan, and for some reason he just didn't do that. Sorry, against Jones, and for some reason he didn't do that against Jan. So I don't know. It was really strange, kind of like what we're going to talk about in the next fight. But yeah, Jan's got that Polish power, like the pierogies. If you eat that, it's got some protein, and clearly Jan's been touching people and they're going to sleep. So I don't know what this guy's been up to. He's 37, and all of a sudden he went on like a 7 of 8 win streak, and it's like what? Who? How? Jan? I remember this guy years ago when he was like a no name. He was kind of like a I'm trying to think, like a not a Derek Brunson, but like kind of like one of those guys in the division, kind of like a gatekeeper. If you beat Jan, then like yeah, you're ready for like the top 10 kind of area. So, but yeah, he's a champion now. He called out John Jones, and obviously I'm like 99% sure Jones is not going to take it, but Reyes extremely disappointing. Well, maybe Jan's just the truth. I don't know. It's weird.
No, the reason is you can get away with fighting more aggressively with John Jones than you can with Jan, because Jan touches you once you're going to sleep. John's not like that. John's an accumulation striker, so at least you could potentially get away when John is trying to finish the fight. But I said it, man. I said I think Dom is the better technical striker, but Jan needs to touch it once, right? Broke his nose. I saw I think it was a left-handed I left like a jab or something, but something landed, broke his nose. I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna try to look for the finish because You can't, you're fighting with a broken nose. It's gonna get worse and worse over the fight. And as you can see, when he landed that left hand that almost dropped him, like when he got like the chicken legs, I was like, oh god, no. You know what? I didn't like Dominic too much. I respected him, but I didn't need to see that happening. Like I didn't need to see Dom get finished like that.
The crazy thing too is that like when Jan throws, it's not like he's throwing like with all his might. You know how like Rumble used to throw where you see him throw a punch like yo, right? It's not like that. Like Jan literally is throwing hooks and man's just going to sleep. I'm like, what is this guy doing? I don't get it. Like it actually
No, his hands actually made of stone, bro. When he landed that like switch kick to the body, like his left leg,
yeah, I've
I was
never
like,
seen a body get
yo,
that red before. That was crazy. And I'm like, yo,
and it was
where's
instant. It was
yeah.
instant.
And he landed
God
like two or three
damn,
in the exact same spot too. And then just it looked like his like left side was infected or something. Like there was
bro. I
some
thought he broke his ribs. I'm 99% sure Dom has to have broken ribs. Like the way it bruised up so quickly
it was
was
crazy.
absolutely crazy.
But
And
yeah, Jan's a monster.
he is, and it's quite crazy. I'm really happy for him though. He's having a kid. He just shows that hard work and dedication, you can eventually get there, whatever you put your mind to. And um, I'm super happy for him. First Polish male UFC champion. Do I think he's going to be a long reigning champion? No. I think that he's going to lose it probably not his next fight. I think he'll defend it once, knock out whoever comes up, and then the next guy's going to beat him. Because I think that new Polish dude, the guy who does like breakdancing and shit mid fight, like I think he would give Jan a run for his money.
I'm not sure who that is. The
He's like
Polish
I think he's like yeah he's like seventh ranked or fifth ranked right now. But
in
remember he fought his first.
205.
Yeah, he fought his first fight against one of the staples in the 205 and he beat him. Let me search it on my phone.
That's okay. While you search that, we're gonna move on to the next one. Can you click on yeah, so the final fight of the night was Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa, last style bender versus a racer. And a lot of people have been calling that nickname style bender. He bent over Costa and did some stuff by the end of the fight. But yeah, Paulo Costa, guys, if you put money on him, I feel so bad for you because he was extremely disappointing. Like again, it's one of those things where it's like, was Israel just that good or Costa just like that bad in the night? Because what's up?
Well, I found his name, Jiri Prochaska, and he just
Oh
KO'd
yeah, yeah,
Volkan
yeah.
Ozdemir.
I remember him. Yeah, that guy is nasty. That guy,
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah. Sorry
that
to
fight
take
was
you off
dope.
track, but
But
yeah.
yeah, shout out to Yuri. But yeah, so last style bender, I don't know if he was that good or if Paulo Costa just looked that bad because Paulo Costa was out here like, taunting and playing games in the octagon and he didn't really land anything, right? He's saying, kick my leg. And then he's like, all right, kicked his leg like 20 more times. And then he was putting his hands behind his back, but he didn't land anything on Izzy. And he was just like stopping the fight and stuff and saying, oh, Romero and whatever. I don't know. He was like playing all these games. Like maybe he was hoping that Adesanya would come in and he would throw it right and then land it. But none of that stuff happened. Paulo Costa couldn't cut off the cage. He couldn't keep Izzy. Izzy was moving very, very well and landing those leg kicks. And then in the second round, that it was that one thing that Edmund Shabazian did too, where like you throw a jab and then you throw a leg kick on the same side. You know what I mean? So it's like you throw a jab and you throw a head kick with your lead leg, and that's what caught Costa with and ended up cutting his eyebrow, I think. So yeah, jab and then head kick. And I was like, yo, I love that move. Every time fighters, they should do that more because everybody expects stuff to come from the opposite, right? You expect a right hand, then left kick, or a left hand, then right kick, right? But Izzy did it on both sides and caught Costa. And then after that, I think it was maybe a minute or so after that, that left hook landed, and then it was all she wrote. So amazing performance by Israel. And yeah, the kid's worth the hype.
I told you guys, and I'm gonna rub it in. I told you second round TKO for Israel Adesanya. Paulo doesn't have enough weapons to. He get, Paulo's not a take you down and pound you fighter. He's not. I'm gonna stand there and throw, and I'm gonna throw harder than you, and I'm gonna land first, and then you're gonna go down, which was never gonna work against Izzy because Izzy's not gonna let you do that. As soon as the bell rings, it starts attacking that lead leg. Paulo has too much pride to start checking the kicks. I don't know what the nigga was doing, but Izzy was chewing that leg, man, chewing it up, like to the point where it was bleeding. Like his actual leg was actually bleeding. Um, Paulo was nervous to gas out, and I think that's what caused his lackluster performance in terms of output. But another thing that people need to understand is he's really hard to hit. I don't think Derek Brunson hit him once. You know what I mean? Very, very extremely hard to hit Izzy. Robert Whitaker can attest to that. This guy was going in there, blitzing him, doing the most, couldn't hit him, right? And then you're gonna have an alligator arm dude who's used to throwing hooks and just kicks, try to knock him out. Like his kicks landed. He landed like a few body kicks or whatever. But as you said, I think it was just a dominating performance from Izzy, and it showed Paulo like you got to mix in something, some wrestling, blitz attacks. Like you got to mix it up, dude. If someone's just chewing up your leg from the outside, either switch stances and blitz in. You know what I mean? Like you got to change it up. Go shoot, because whatever you're doing currently is not working. If your leg just keeps getting chewed up, and I could tell that Paulo couldn't even throw hard anymore because whenever he was returning, it didn't look as ferocious as it usually does. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I think everything Izzy did after the fight was hilarious. I think that Paulo was talking a lot of shit before the fight, and he got KO'd as Izzy told him he would, and he deserves everything that happened to him. Kudos to Izzy for dry humping the dude after. Makes for fantastic media. I think that people might see it as classless, but at the end of the day, whatever your opponent says to you before the fight and you guys don't touch gloves, yeah, like I think everything's cool. Just don't talk about anyone's family or their kids. As long as, you know what I mean, it's about the person, you can do anything, just about anything.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know about that. I don't know if humping was the right thing to do because even Conor McGregor talks the most grease, but like he's always respectful after the fight, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's
Sick.
cocky,
Shut
but like
up.
what?
Paulo Costa's a prick. Like, who cares? The whole time this nigga's been talking shit, going to his fights, calling him garbage, doing all this stuff. Yeah, there's kudos to it. You got knocked out, all right, and then you got dry hump. So now he knows next time might not talk that much grease.
No, I know. I'm sure like if Costa rattles off a few wins and they fight again, you best believe that Israel's gonna be like, bro, I humped you, bro. Like I knocked you out, then I humped you. So like I don't know what you expect.
It's the
So
psychological thing, man.
yeah.
I think it's a lot of it's like psychological. Now he's every single time Paulo hears Izzy say I humped you, he's gonna get super mad and try to charge him or something. Or Izzy might like dry hump the air after he hits him. You know what I mean? Just stuff to get in his head. So
Yep.
um it was an interesting fight. Kudos to Izzy. I told you guys he's gonna get the second round dub. Thank you guys for listening as always. Follow us, like, comment, subscribe on Instagram, MMA Brothers Pod. Let us know what you guys think. Send us your picks. If you guys ever want to get featured or you guys want us to broadcast your opinion, just let us know. Send us a DM, comment on this video on YouTube or anything, and we can get it cracking. Any last words, Asher?
No, you pretty much said it. Like, follow, subscribe. Yeah, MMA Brothers Pod on Instagram, and we appreciate you guys listening.